If you don't communicate, then you'll never know if you'll be able to get what you want.
I got every right how to talk, how I wanna talk. Catch me on a flight down south.
Hey, amies, I'm Jasmine Emerald, and today I'm going to be sharing some relationship advice. And pretty much this is going to be a new series I start where I'm going to log on to Reddit and just check out some threads to see some topics that could be helpful or relatable for you guys. So it's going to be for the purpose of offering advice, but also for entertaining in case you guys are interested in relationship topics. Today's topic is going to be about being in a long-term relationship that is lukewarm with no passion. So the person writing this is a 27-year-old female, and they say, I've been in a relationship with a good guy who's 30 years old and is a male for 5 years now, and it's far from toxic in any way. We share similar worldviews and love each other deeply and support each other however possible. He tries to make me happy and gives me compliments. The thing is, I can't remember the last time I felt passion. I'm a very sentimental and romantic person, and this isn't him. A big turn on for me is and always has been intellect and ambition, and he's happy just living his current life for the next 30 or so years, which is totally valid, of course, but not attractive to me. For a while, I'd initiate sex because I love him and know it's an important need for him, while it's not a huge driver for me. But I've stopped doing this for the last couple months, and we've talked about it, and I've told him it's just not as great for me as it is for him. Sucks being a woman in that way, I guess, huh? Of course, after 5 years, this is both of our fault. I actually bought my first sex toy ever and will be trying to figure myself out better so I know what works for me. But even if this gap still existed, I'm just never craving him, and that's not how I feel like things should be with a partner. To be honest, I don't even feel like kissing him, and I used to love kissing. Another relatively small issue for me is that he wants to end up back where his very large and closely knit family is, which I don't blame him at all for, as they've always been wonderful to him, but I don't want that. We moved when I got into grad school, and I really like it here, but want to have the freedom to live other places as well in time. Recently, he hasn't seemed so 100% in moving back, but I wouldn't want to be the reason he doesn't go back to live near his family. I could easily continue in this relationship for the rest of my life and have a fine time. But I feel that in time, I'd feel as though I cheated myself out of more potential happiness and excitement and, well, life. We live together in a nice place, have 3 perfect cats, which absolutely will be coming with me, and share literally everything. I can't even imagine decoupling our lives, but this doesn't feel sustainable. What should I do? Alright. So for me personally, I really feel like this person is pretty much in a point where they want something new. 5 years is a long time to be with someone, but since they're 27 years old, that would mean that they were pretty much 22 when they got with this person, which is still pretty young. And I will say, I do feel like when you're younger, you're kind of trying to figure out yourself. You're trying to figure out what you want out of life, your likes, dislikes, things like that. And a lot of people end up in a situation where they do want more out of life. They want something different. They want to try new things. They want passion. I'm actually going to be doing a video about pretty much Tia Mowry, because I feel like this is a similar circumstance as to what she is going through, and I'll have that linked somewhere up here when I record it. But I do feel like sometimes you just outgrow somebody, and sometimes people end up in these situations where they really want to make things work, but it's kind of like, is it all for me? Because some people will feel like, is this it? Is this all that life has to offer me? And there's nothing wrong with feeling that way. I know some people might think it's selfish to feel that way, but the thing is if you really want to go exploring, then you should be open and honest about those ideas. However, you also have to realize that the person you're with, they may not be there if you decide later on in life that, yeah, maybe I want to go back to this, I realized stuff wasn't as great as I thought it was. Because sometimes that can happen. Sometimes you could make a transition in your life and end things with someone, and the relationship could have been great. And you may want to go, do more things, see the world, just go traveling, be a different version of yourself, learn more about yourself, just experience potentially new people. And sometimes things works out where you might meet someone else. You might decide that you want to be single. You might decide that you just want to have a whole bunch of pets. You might even come to terms with, you might decide that, you know what, I've probably seen all that I need to see, and maybe I want to go back to the person that I used to be with all those years ago. But you do have to keep in mind that a person shouldn't have to wait for you too. And I also have to say, it is definitely doing the guy that they are with a disservice if they really don't want to be there and they are not necessarily present with them, and they kind of are just being there. It's like, for me personally, I feel like you should want to actually be with the person that you're with. It shouldn't be a feeling where you feel like you're settling. And a lot of people do end up in a situation where they may want to experience more, or they may want to try something new because they may be curious about what else is out there, and that's completely fine. But you shouldn't leave your partner in the dark if that's what you want to do. Also, if you feel like you could potentially cheat on your partner, it would just be best to let them go. You know what I mean? Because it's not fair to put someone in a situation where they may feel like this is who they want to be with, and they may think that y'all on the same page, but y'all not. This person is on page 23 and you in a whole different book. Also, when it comes to the sexual aspect, I do feel like a lot of people, and this is something that I noticed like in social media, a lot of people will talk about their exes and how they had bad experiences, or the experiences weren't great when it came to the relations that they had, but they would never actually tell the person they were with what did they want to do, or what they wanted to try, or if they could do something different. And I find that really weird. Like, I feel like if you're in a relationship with someone, you should be able to talk to them about everything. And it's like, if you feel like your needs are not being met in any shape or form, emotionally, mentally, physically, which is what we're talking about, I do feel like you should be able to express, like, yeah, let's try this, or let's try something new, or you could introduce something else into the bedroom, just so that you won't feel like you're neglected or like they're neglecting you. They won't feel like they're being neglected too. It's like, all you have to do is just communicate. And I feel like so many people have this issue where they don't communicate. Another thing in relation to communication, I also feel like if this woman would have expressed, I would like more romance, or we should do more dates, or we should do something different, maybe her partner would listen to her and try to make those changes. You know what I mean? Again, a lot of times issues could be resolved, or certain problems that somebody might have in a relationship, they could be resolved if you just express, yeah, I want to try this, or this, it's feeling kind of stagnant, could we maybe do something different, and make suggestions. It's so easy. It's like, people make things hard, but if you are with someone, I feel like you should be able to communicate however you are feeling. If you feel like you cannot communicate how you are feeling to the person you are with, that's the wrong person for you. So take time out to just express your concerns, your thoughts, the issues you're having, things you want to see different, and then see what happens. Because again, the right person for you will listen to you, take the time to hear you, take the time to understand you, come to terms with what it is that you would like, and there will be a union of, okay, let's collaborate and see what we could do, what transitions we could make, what new things we could bring into our lives or whatever to make our relationship work. And so many times people will end up not saying anything, so they just resort to breaking up a lot of times. And again, it's really as simple as just speaking up and sharing how you're feeling about a situation. You know, if someone is understanding, if they want to hear you out, they will. If they don't, then you know to just let the relationship go. It's as simple as that. Now it's time for you guys to chime in. What would you tell this person who is going through this relationship where they feel like they want to do something different, where they want to have more romance? You know, they want to be in a situation where they could freely travel, or, you know, they want more passionate sex or passionate things in their life. What would you tell this person? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree with me or disagree? What would you do in this situation? Because I shared what I would do. I feel like communication is key at the end of the day. And if you don't communicate, then you'll never know if you'll be able to get what you want. Feel free to check out my other relationship advice videos, which will be linked in the description box down below, as well as some will be featured here. Make sure you tell me your thoughts, and stay blessed, stay positive, and I'll see you soon.